broadcast for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. This is the Firearms Radio Network.
This is Nikki Turpeaux with Firearms Insider Radio here at SHOT Show 2014. Thanks for checking in and seeing how we're doing here. My guest right now is Miss Julianna Crowder from A Girl and a Gun Club, and we're going to talk to Julianna a little bit about how things closed out for 2013 and what she's looking forward to for 2014.
Oh, that's a really good place to start. So 2013 we closed out with about 64 chapters. About 2,200 members across the country. We hosted our first national conference and already had our second one on the books to get ready to go again. It's been a phenomenal year of just getting women out to the shooting range and doing what we love to do best, just being girls together and shooting guns.
Having fun, yeah. For those people who are watching who are not familiar with A Girl and a Gun, give us a little bit of the details of what it is, how it got started, and kind of why this brainchild was so important for you.
Well, I'm a firearms instructor out of Austin, Texas, and I've been building my business for, about 4 years at this point. And I was having a lot of success, but I wasn't seeing as many women come through my classes as I would have liked to have seen, or just saw a lot of women not really taking their own personal safety seriously, and I really wanted to change that. So I had a couple of different avenues I was trying, and they just weren't working. The networking scene is very big in Austin, and everyone's hosting happy hours and these social events. So I had the bright idea to host a girls' night out at the range, and then say, let's go to dinner afterwards. Let's just have a good time. If you don't have guns, I'll bring them. If you don't have ammo, you can get it from me. If you don't know what you're doing, I'll show you. Just start off with a couple of girls coming out, and it just every 2 weeks got bigger and bigger. And it really was starting to be my heart, just to get these women to come out to the range and trust me that I'm going to take care of them out there and give them a skill set or empower them a little bit. And then a couple other gals kind of caught wind of what I was doing in other cities and asked if they could do it with me. Join forces instead of reinvent the wheel, because I had a little formula. I had a cute little name, I was starting to build a little brand, and it just grew from there. That first year, I think we had maybe 12 chapters in Texas. And then last year we went national and international. So we're trying to get stuff started in the UK, which is a little, has its own challenge, and we have some serious interest down in Argentina and, and other places around the world that like what we're doing. But basically now we're, a national sisterhood of other female instructors who have the same goals and passions and ideas for bringing women to the range, and we're all doing it under this umbrella of Girl and a Gun. We're setting standards for each other, keeping each other accountable, and just really sharing all of our different talents that we all bring to the table.
Yeah. Well, why is it that you feel like there's been such an increase of women wanting to get involved in the firearms industry or the shooting sports over the last few years?
Well, when we first started having the big boom, 3 years ago, it was because products were either pink or purple, or they were starting to innovate a little bit and make it a little bit more female friendly. And then when you got down to the nitty gritty of it, they want to spend time with their husbands, so this is an activity, whether it be hunting or sport shooting, that they can do with their husbands and feel competent. Maybe they're the head of their own household and there is not a man, and they have to learn how to take care of themselves. Yeah. That's been a huge one. We've seen a lot of widowed women come through, or just single ladies, whether they just haven't not at that place in their life yet to have a family, or for whatever reason they find themselves single, and they want to be in charge of their own personal safety and have a new sport, a hobby. Yeah, it's like they find a whole new world out there, and we are so excited to be that avenue to help them figure out where they fit.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, I was one of your guest instructors last year at your national conference.
Yes.
I know we have another one coming up here in March. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And it's right around the corner. So what is attendance looking like for you?
Attendance right now, we're already up to 225 ladies.
That's great.
And last year we capped at 100 because we really didn't know what we were going to do.
It was a whole new animal.
It was a whole new animal. So this year we booked a little bit more space. So we're about 225 now, and we could probably comfortably fit 300 with indoor lecture classes as well as live fire classes on the range.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be really fun. And
yeah, something about an add-on session of flying and shooting out of a helicopter, shooting from a tower.
Yeah.
Having extra sessions with you after the fact. So yeah, there's going to be some exciting stuff happening this year.
There'll be some knife fighting.
Some knife fighting. Yeah, a whole bunch of good stuff happening.
Yeah, very cool. Well, let's back up for a second, and I would like for the viewers and the listeners to learn a little bit more about what drew you to this industry. When did you take your first shots with a gun, and how, as an adult, did you find yourself really wanting to stay committed to a career field in the firearms industry?
So it's most of us, we had a parent that introduced us to firearms. My dad always had a little revolver in the nightstand her name was Betsy. She went camping with us and, was the house gun, and I really didn't know too much about it. I just knew she existed. I had a BB gun at one point. So firearms were not a focus in my home, growing up. And it wasn't until I married my husband, and he's a Marine, and it was important to him to carry on the traditions of hunting and self-defense and just your own responsibility for yourself, type mentality. And when we moved back to Texas, he was like, "I'm buying a handgun, I'm buying a car gun, I'm going to buy a home gun." I'm like, okay, have a good time with that. I wasn't interested or disinterested. It just
You were pretty indifferent.
I was very indifferent. And then he started shooting IDPA, and this one time he dragged me out, just put a whole bunch of gear on me, and he's like, "Okay, the buzzer's gonna go beep, and you're gonna draw, and you're gonna go." And I'm like, "Gotcha."
Oh, okay.
And it was exhilarating and fun, but a little ugly.
A little confusing.
It was a little confusing, and then a little time passed, and he says, law in the state of Texas, you have to have a concealed handgun license because I'm going to put a gun in the car, and I just don't want you to be arrested, for having a pistol in the car. So
he was making a recommendation.
Yes, so he signed me up for my concealed handgun class, dropped me off, picked me up 10 hours later, and I just remember watching the instructor teach and the wife in the back, doing all the admin, and I was like, that's going to be me and him someday. I can just feel it. I see,
Did it feel like a setup?
No, he was completely surprised. No, because when I got out of the class, I'm like, this is going to be a really good business opportunity because he's a fabulous instructor.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my husband, and he's great, and he's taught me everything I know, and I'm like, and I can run the back end of a business, no problem.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. And I signed him up to be a concealed handgun license instructor, and he's like, I got a job.
Before you knew it, you were signed up, and then he was signed up.
Yes. So I signed him up.
Payback.
So I signed him up to take his instructor's course, and about a year later, he signed me up to take my instructor's course. And it just happened. I'm sitting in that class, and I realized the commitment to the firearm and the commitment to the lifestyle, and where there was lacking, because I felt I was a pretty savvy gal, never been a victim of a crime. I'd done pretty good already, I had a few close calls in my youth. And I started relating to, how are the other women making it? How are we as a community of women making it? And I thought, I want to be a voice. And so it just started off with little baby steps of me learning the law, and then before I could be an instructor, I had to learn the gun, and so I spent time developing myself so that I could be a role model and be that person that could take ladies out to the range and successfully help them. And it was a passion, and I started taking classes after class after class, and was very fortunate to be connected to some very helpful mentors that supported me through this mission of where we are now.
Yeah.
So very lucky.
Yeah. It's been a lot of success in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, and the women that we come in contact with, and you hear their stories, and it's heartbreaking. It's like, I just don't want that to happen to anybody else.
Oh yeah.
And we got to help each other.
Yeah. Well, let's say goodbye to corporate America.
Right.
To do this full time, because
absolutely.
It felt like a calling, and it wasn't really a hobby. It was something that I enjoyed, but I just felt like there was so much more to
You're
it.
a natural teacher. I was a dance instructor. I had a dance studio for 7 years teaching little girls ballet and tap, and I left that. I sold my studio because I knew there was another part of the community that was waiting for me. I had done my job there, raised some other people's kids for a few years, and then I was, I don't know.
Called in a different direction.
Definitely being called, and I had to learn some stuff first before I could, help. But it's my heart.
It's very cool. Well, how has this really changed challenged you as a business professional, as an individual? What are some of the aha moments where you knew this is exactly what I need to be doing and exactly the place that I need to be?
Well, being an entrepreneur and going into any industry that's brand new to you is always exciting and challenging because you have to learn the lay of the land and how the industry works. So that was just exciting to have a new challenge. And I still like it how we're learning things every year, about how our industry works and how we're actually changing it. So that was a challenge. But what keeps me, really focused is when you have a lady, whether she's coming for a concealed carry class or coming to Girls Night Out, and she takes that shot and she has that stress cry happen. It's either a relief or whatever the reason, those tears are coming out, and that you get to be a part of that, or share that with her, or be there to help her through it, or for them to send you a letter and just say, you don't know how you've changed my life. Or, for the other ladies that have become facilitators and said, one, I can't believe I signed up to do this, but now I can't believe, or my life wouldn't be the same without it.
Right. Why? Where has this been all my life?
Because now they're achieving their business dreams or
their personal
or something that they would have never done. So for me, the biggest thing is knowing that I'm impacting lives on different levels, and it all just comes in quiet little moments. And it's not, big fanfare. It's quiet little moments where I get to connect with a woman and she tells me, or I hear the stories about how a facilitator says, this lady emailed me out of my chapter and she told me how I changed her life. I'm like,
love those moments. Yeah.
Because what I got to feel, now she gets to do. Yeah. So that's that.
And I think those little victories are so important. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to do with this program is give listeners and give viewers an opportunity to realize that people in this firearms industry, we're not big, bad, scary, crazy people.
No.
We're everyday people who have dreams and goals and who want to help each other. They want to help each other, and those moments kind of help define you as a person.
Oh, absolutely.
For other people to realize that the firearms industry, it's a great industry, and it provides learning opportunities and life-saving opportunities to people, life-changing opportunities to people. So it's not all about the guns and the gear and the flash and all of that.
Right, and it's a huge industry, but we're a small industry at the same time. And I'm sure you know this. You talk to different companies, different individuals, and everybody wants to be connected to help each other out through whatever we're doing. So, and that's a huge reward. Is Girl and a Gun has grown, is the support that I've received from the industry to make sure that I'm successful, so that I can keep doing my mission.
Yeah, it's very important because we can't work without one another.
No, absolutely.
No.
We have to all be on the same team. So
yeah, same team, common goals, common rewards. It's all a part of it. Well, tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit more about how they can find out about A Girl and a Gun or become involved in a local chapter.
Well, we have a great website at agirlandagunclub.com, and from there you can find links to our Twitter and Facebook accounts where we're pretty active, making sure we're, updating on local events and that are specific to chapters as well as national going-ons, and then every chapter has its own Facebook group page, so that way local ladies can really connect with each other and have good conversation on the local level, which we're pretty proud of that. And then of course we're Twitter. We've got the AGAG Club. So there's all kinds of places to find us at. But the website is the best place, and it'll just take you to everywhere you need to be.
It's very cool. Well, being women in the industry, I know that we're looking forward to tomorrow night. We have the second annual Women of the Industry dinner, and let's tell the viewers a little bit about what's going on with the dinner this year.
My goodness. So Brittany Starr, she's such a sweetie. She wanted to make sure that we could all, women in the industry, get together and network with one another, because sometimes we don't know each other except for our online presence. And this year we're gathering, and the theme is Old Hollywood Glam. So we have been feverishly looking for our
outfits,
our Oscar-ready outfits, and I hear this one over here is coming pretty pretty fashionista.
I've got some glam.
She's got some glam.
I've got some glam. We'll just say security, if they were to have opened my suitcase, they would have seen fur stoles and evening hats and lots of jewels.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what you're going to look like.
I will still have dark hair.
Yeah,
It won't be this hair, but it will be dark hair.
Yes, no, that's going to be the highlight, is to see what you look like for the evening.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. Have you put your outfit together?
Yeah, I've kind of pieced it together a little bit. Got a little sequence going on.
Nice.
And we'll see.
A little sparkle.
Gonna put a little red lipstick on. I think it'll work.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So, see, it's not just about being on the gun range. You can look pretty and be in the firearms
That's
industry
right.
too.
And we can have a little fun.
Absolutely ridiculous fun, pretty much. I know at the out in Cody, Wyoming this year for the Industry Masters, they had an Old West or Wild West theme.
Fun.
It was super fun. So I got to dress up for that one as well.
See, last year it was easy because it was the Western theme. And who doesn't have a cute pair of jeans and a pair of boots? This year she made us work for it. So.
Yeah, this is a lot more work. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany and Jacqueline. We
Yes,
appreciate
we
the
can't
extra
wait.
checked bag. If it's not fun, you're going to give me my $25 back for that extra checked bag.
Right. Or buy us a drink, whatever.
Right, whatever. We'll work it out amongst us girls.
Right.
But it should be a lot of fun. So I know tonight's the industry dinner. Will you be there this evening for Penn and Teller?
You know, I am not going to be there for that, but I am going to be at several happy hours and meet and greets and meeting vendors and sponsors that have been good to us, and there's a media meetup that I get to go to. So hopefully next year we'll make the industry dinner.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really good time.
Yeah, well, that's the neat thing about SHOT Show is that every day and every evening there's about 20 different things going on simultaneously, so it's near impossible to get to everything. And this will actually be my first time to go to the industry dinner.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, the last few years I've always been busy with other things and not able to make it. So this year I said I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for your after-action report on that one.
You will have a good one. I won't be wearing a costume. It will not be old Hollywood glamour, but no wigs, no hats, no fur stoles, but hopefully just a lot of fun.
Right. Well, I dare you, though.
Oh, no. Do not dare me. You better stop right there, sister. Lock it up.
They might think you're part of the entertainment.
They might try to put me on stage with Penn and
Showgirl.
Teller.
Here we come.
All right. Well, Julianna, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the viewers about what you're looking forward to about SHOT Show or 2014? Anything?
Well, 2014 is just going to be a great year for us to continue our mission and to grow. Looking forward to the new partnerships with some companies that we have come down the line. Breaking news.
Breaking news, stand by.
It hasn't been heard anywhere else. Law Enforcement Targets is publishing the first official Girl and Gun League targets.
That's awesome.
We will use it for all of our quarterly events and also be for sale on their website.
Very cool.
So that is like huge, that we're doing these kind of things. So yeah, so 2014 is going to be a groundbreaking year for us, just to be stepping out of the comfort zone and seeing what else we can come up with.
Yeah, well, and one opportunity leads to the next.
That's right.
And then pretty soon it's a landslide.
Yeah, let's all hang on.
Brace for impact.
Right.
All right, Julianna, well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And we'll be catching up with you a little later on in the year and have you on the Firearms Insider Radio show too.
We'll see you in March.
Yeah, and I will be there. So if you're interested in attending the national conference, go online to the Your Girl and the Gun website and check it out. Sign up while there's still space.
That's right.
Well, I'm Nikki Turpeaux, and here at SHOT Show 2014, so stick around. I'll be back with more interviews throughout the week.
This has been a production of the Firearms Radio Network. You can find more information at firearmsradio.tv.